So the reality when an order or when a new project comes into your company or your agency, you basically start with, okay, now we nailed it, now we got it. So what would you usually do? You would grab a colleague, go into the room and say, okay, or in the office, okay, we're gonna nail it, right? And we have to make it perfect for a customer, the perfect final version. But then what happens? Then you brief and debrief with the customer. And at the end of the day, the customer says, okay, it was a small project, God damn it, I would rather do it myself than making a constant brief and debrief. So, but how would you really like to work? It's a little bit different, right? So you would like to co-create, you would like to add value, and at best, you would like to disrupt, to make something novel, something special for the customer, okay? And one of the methods commonly used in doing something creative, something bubbly, something that you can like co-create are certain methods, among others, hackathons. Have you ever attended a hackathon? Can I see your hands? Who has been ever on a hackathon? Like hackathons, you know, the innovation marathons, usually lasting a day or two, groups of people working together, creating value for the customer, creating innovation, right? But how many of you honestly think that hackathons, in the majority of cases, are just fireworks, and the cruel reality behind it is that nothing ever happens after? How many hands? Nothing ever happens? Yeah, there are some hands. Okay. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, there can. It does. But if you do it right. So the bubbly phase ends with hard work and perseverance of a great team to come to the implementation. So I thought about a lot of, you know, what cases do we have? We like did more than 300 hackathons in Slovenia. Hey, surprise, surprise. And many are internal. But what is common to them are the success stories. And I just cherry-picked one just to show on how it's really done. How do you really co-create? So many of you know this product, right? Who doesn't know the product? Yeah. It's called ICOS, and it comes from Philip Morris Ljubljana, right? So that's basically what you can find as an alternative to the current smoking, like cigarettes. And we were instructed, and they were instructed, Philip Morris Ljubljana team, hey, now we're gonna disrupt. We're in the tobacco industry, but we don't want to smoke anymore. So we move to ICOS. So we disrupt. We change entirely our business model. And accordingly, they had to adapt. And so we did. We did adapt, and we rethought not only, you know, the product, but the people. The projects had to change. What we did is actually an innovation day, but not just for popping out innovation, but to focus on the projects, to focus on the people and the new way of thinking and the new way of working. So if you would like try to understand on what is the traditional and what is agile, is that on the traditional working mode, you just work what you're supposed to. So you are marketing, you are sales, you are the CEO, so everybody does everything according to its function. But what is actually agile? Agile is about the team and the project. So for one project, there's a team. For another project, a completely different set of people coming together to serve the purpose of this project and to create value for the customer. So how did it look like? So we had many interesting activities and commitment papers as a result of this innovation day. But nothing ever happens if there's no follow-up. So we said, okay, let's come back a month after the Innovation Day and see what happened. So the teams actually formed commitments, and out of those commitments, they actually made a follow-up. They actually said what they did, how did they do it faster, and what did they learn out of this process. So it was surprising on how did everything improve. And you know what we found out at the end of the day? That hashtag, wow, it was good.